Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani believed that Jesus was a drunkard. A
No.
drunkard. Sharabi.
No.
Okay. If we show that he did believe in this, Mirza said, मेरे नजदीक जबकि मसीह शराब से परहेज करने वाला नहीं था.
Is it written in the Bible that he used to drink or no?
No. It's not written in the Bible that he used to drink. It's Mirza's own imagination. If someone believes a prophet of Allah was a drunkard, is such a person a kafir or a believer?
Was a drunkard? I think I don't like to call anyone a kafir. I would say that would be a wrong. I can almost guarantee that he is probably comparing the biblical Jesus.
Don't do.
Adnan by Isa as Husuran. Are you listening, Ahmadi? Wallahi, it's very painful what you are saying. Very painful. Let me say one more time. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani saying the last statement you read. He says that there are stories which have prevented Allah in the Quran to call Isa as Hasuran. Please tell us what are those stories which have prevented Allah. Everybody with a bit of honesty can think that if something is preventing Allah, it has to be real. Please, Ahmad, don't do this tactic.
He would say कुरान में याहिया का नाम हसूर रखा मगर मसीह का ये नाम ना रखा क्योंकि वो ऐसे करते थे. लेकिन उन्होंने क्या कहा? उन्होंने कहा क्योंकि ऐसे.
Isa alayhi salam शराब पिया करते थे. If Mirza did not believe in this, he would have said, ये झूठ है. ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. Mirza Isa alayhi salam शराब नहीं पिया करते थे. What he's saying that he used to drink perhaps because of an illness or an old habit.
He's specifically referencing the biblical Jesus, and for people to judge. Look on.
No.
One second.
You're lying again, Ahmadi. Don't do that.
Answer one simple question. Do you believe that Peter cursed Isa alayhi salam?
I do not believe that any
Do you believe that Peter cursed Isa alayhi salam? Are you listening, brother?
I don't believe that.
Okay, if Mirza Ghulam Qadiani believes that Peter cursed Isa salam, is he a Muslim?
I will study that reference when shown.
Can you, brother, don't worry, let's study. I'm asking you a question. You said that you do not.
I don't want to answer anything
Wait,
hypothetical.
why is it that you don't believe that Peter could have cursed Isa salam? Why? Why don't you believe this?
Because if he was a true companion of a prophet, he would not abuse the prophet.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
I
Now,
think
inshallah,
this is Islamic norm.
because I wanted it to be clear that it is your human, your fitra. Your fitra is not letting you believe that Prophet Isa alayhi salam was cursed by Peter. Okay. Now, inshallah, that's it. You have said what you wanted to say, because the only reason I said before, if you were engaging on the topic, I can stay with 8 hours for 8 hours. Okay. But you said you have no knowledge. Once you said you have no knowledge, there's no point to just keep going in the circle. Okay. Thank you very much. And now I will prove that this was belief of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani that Peter cursed him. Okay. Now
I was going to ask him about the Jesus being a drunkard because that was also Mirza's belief, but it's now another point.
You can ask
Yeah,
him.
okay.
You can ask him. Is there?
Ahmadi, you said that you don't believe that. Do you believe that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani believed that Jesus was a drunkard?
No.
A drunkard. Sharabi.
No.
Okay. If we show that he did believe in this, and he said, Mere Nazdeek, I'm quoting Mirza's words verbatim. I've memorized these words. Mirza said, Mere Nazdeek, jabke Masih sharab se parhez karne wala nahi tha. Mere Nazdeek, jabke Masih sharab se parhez karne wala nahi tha. These are his words. Do you accept or no?
I would have to look at this reference. If you can show it, then we can.
Imtiaz bhai, put it up, please. Put it up. I know I know it's a digression. It's a slight digression. I know, but this is a very important point to put this idea to rest. That this is Mirza speaking of biblical prophet. We want to show these guys that Mirza actually believed in.
Is it written in the Bible that he used to drink or no?
No. It's not written in the Bible that he used to drink. It's Mirza's own imagination that he was a drunk. Sharabi. The word is sharabi. Sharabi. You know what sharabi means? Have you watched the movie Sharabi? Amitabh Bachchan?
No. Drunkard.
I watched it when I was a kid. Okay, 1984 it came out. I remember it very clearly. And they show a drunkard. Sharabi means in the Urdu language someone who is actually a drunkard. Someone who doesn't drink occasionally. It means someone who drinks frequently, habitually. Absolutely. That's a sharabi.
I don't have detailed knowledge of this subject, but just while I'm speaking with you, I just googled it, and it I think it does mention in the Bible that he used to. If I just literally just googled it.
Okay, read the verses. That he was
I don't know the words, but there's a question. It says, yes, Jesus drank wine. All of us probably know this from the story of the Last Supper in the New Testament. So it seems like it was written in the Bible, and based on that, I would say that again, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad used, when he was talking about the Jesus of the Bible, he was using biblical material. We don't believe that it's written in the Quran, or we don't have this personal belief that a prophet of God.
Yes, I understand. But if Okay, first of all, let's establish a basic principle and give me a straight answer so that we save time. If someone believes a prophet of Allah was a drunkard, is such a person a kafir or a believer?
Was a drunkard? I think I don't like to call anyone a kafir. I would say that would be a wrong belief.
Can't be a prophet. Can't clearly be a prophet. A prophet cannot believe this, right?
Yes,
And if that's the case, Mirza would be not a prophet, and in that case, it would be a liar, correct?
I would say that would be a wrong belief. Yes.
Yeah, if he has a wrong belief, then he's not a prophet, and if he's not a prophet, then he's a liar. Yes.
I mean, that's your conclusion. Yes, I don't want to.
Well, that's a logical conclusion.
That's fine. I still don't want to repeat those words.
You don't have to, but you just agree, yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to show you that Mirza actually believed that Jesus was a drunkard.
Based on the Bible, that was my point. That his conclusion
wait.
based off studying Bible.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Mirza believed that Jesus was a drunkard against the Quran and the Sunnah and the entire consensus of the Muslim Ummah. Means Mirza took this notion, this shenanigans from the New Testament. It doesn't matter if Shaitan came to Mirza or someone told Mirza. It doesn't matter where he took it from. He had this belief, and that's why Imtiaz bhai, I really kindly request put that quote on.
Inshallah, I'm going to share that one. And
this is I know this is a digression. This is a side point, but I want Ahmadi to go away with this thought in his mind that we're not just making this up and we're not being unjust to Mirza. We're showing things that Mirza actually believed in. And if Mirza believed that Jesus was a drunkard, Mirza was clearly wrong. If he was wrong, he's not a prophet. If he's not a prophet, he's a liar. So you need to become a Muslim. Okay? Do you know Urdu, right?
Yes.
This is Review of Religion, March 1902, Volume 1, page 116. मैंने खूब गौर करके देखा है और जहां तक फिक्र काम दे सकता है खूब सोचा है मेरे नजदीक जबकि मसीह शराब से परहेज करने वाला नहीं था और कोई इसकी बीवी भी नहीं थी तो गो मैं this is Mirza saying according to me, correct?
According to his study of the Bible.
No, brother.
This is not his personal.
No. The code is there, black and white. Don't lie, please. Don't do that. Don't do that because you're cornered. Yeah, look, he's saying मैंने खूब गौर करके देखा. I thought very deeply. और जहां तक फिक्र काम दे सकता है खूब सोचा. And wherever the thought can reach, I have thought very deeply. मेरे नजदीक, according to me, जबकि while मसीह शराब से परहेज करने वाला नहीं था. Messiah was not the one who would abstain from wine. और कोई उसकी बीवी भी नहीं थी. Or he had no wife. तो go मैं मानता हूँ and that I believe कि खुदा ने इसको भी and even him God बुरे कामों से बचाया, saved him from bad deeds. लेकिन मैं क्या करूं? What can I do? मेरा तजुर्बा इस बात को नहीं मानता that my experience does not accept वो इसमत भी ऐसा कामिल हो सके that person or that honorable person can be so complete जैसा कि वो दूसरा शख्स जो शराब ना पीता है, like someone who does not drink और ना हलाल वजह की औरतों से इसको कुछ कमी है and that he doesn't have any shortage of halal women or women that are halal for him. So in this quote, brother, categorically Mirza in black and white is stating his personal belief that Jesus did not abstain from wine. Now, think before you talk now, yeah? Think very carefully before you talk. You don't have to lie, you don't have to twist things, it's black and white.
I'm giving you my honest assessment of this passage.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so as an Ahmadi Muslim, I know you don't consider us Muslim, but as an Ahmadi, my understanding of this passage is that the two things mentioned here regarding not having a wife or being with other women or drinking wine, both of these are mentioned in the Bible. They are not mentioned in the Quran or Islamic narrative.
Ahmadi, wait.
And what is more important, one second, let me just
Ahmadi, we're not discussing the Bible here. Please don't waste our time. We're discussing Mirza's personal belief.
I haven't read the context, but look at the last two phrases here. It says कि ऐसा कामिल हो सके जैसा कि दूसरा शख्स जो ना शराब पीता है और ना हलाल वजह की औरतों से इसको कुछ कमी है. Honestly, I haven't even read the context of this before, but because I've read other texts of Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, I can almost guarantee that he is probably comparing the biblical Jesus.
Don't do.
Adnan, I give you a simple solution. Let me put something on the screen by inshallah and read and explain this so it can inshallah clarify the point of this Bible.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Why this one, please? Yeah, this one, please. Read this one.
Okay. Now there's another gem from Mirza about
why look. This is to prove that it is not about the biblical thing. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is proving the same thing from the Quran.
Yes, there you go. Okay. So this is gonna nail the coffin of this argument or the defense you're trying to put up.
I have read
I've
read this.
Why let him complete?
Okay. मैं दूसरे रास्तबाजों से बढ़कर साबित नहीं होती. Okay. बल्कि याया नबी को इस पर एक फजीलत है क्योंकि वो शराब नहीं पीता था. Mirza saying that Yahya alayhi salam had a fazilat or a superiority over Jesus because he did not used to drink. और कभी नहीं सुना गया या कि किसी फाहिशा औरत ने आकर अपनी कमाई के माल से उसके सर पर अतर मला था. And it's never been heard that a prostitute came to oil his head with the money she had earned from her deeds. और अपने हाथों से अपने सर के बालों से उसके बदन को छुआ था. And that she touched his body with her hands. कोई बेताल्लुक जवान औरत उसकी खिदमत करती थी. That any non-mahram woman would serve him. इसी वजह से खुदा ने कुरान में याह्या का नाम हसूर रखा मगर मसीह का ये नाम ना रखा क्योंकि ऐसे किस्से इस नाम के रखने से माने थे. So this is why Allah called Yahya Husur in the Quran and not Jesus Christ or not Masih, because these stories were preventing naming him with such title. So Mirza is actually using the Quran. He's saying the reason why Yahya was called Husur in the Quran or Hasur is because Yahya did not have anything attached to his name like drinking wine and having relations with or having interactions with prostitutes. Are we making this up?
Yes, no, you're not making this up.
Ahmadi, let me say one thing before you speak. Okay, look at this one. Now, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is telling us that Allah has not named or titled Isa as Husur for two reasons. One is alcohol, second is the prostitute thing. Now, there are two. Ahmadi, please, I beg to you, listen what I'm saying right now. If what Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is saying here, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is interpreting the Quran. He's saying that according to Quran, this is the reason of this ayah that Allah has not titled Isa as Husuran, prostitute and alcohol. Now, if Mirza Ghulam Qadiani believed in this, listen very carefully. If Mirza Ghulam Qadiani believed in this interpretation, our point is proven. If Mirza Ghulam Qadiani did not believe, actually, he only said this to the Christians, guess what? He has lied on the Quran. So it's basically between the rock and the hard place. I invite you, Ahmadi, let's be honest. There are two options. What Mirza Ghulam Qadiani said here about the Quran, he believes in this option one. In that case, our case is proven. Option number two, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani did say this about the Quran, but he did not believe in this. It means that Mirza Ghulam Qadiani was lying and abusing the Quran. Now you respond, please.
Okay, thank you. So, Imtiaz, I don't know. Look, I believe that you are probably sincere in your cause and you don't do this on purpose. But look, the very first sentence you said is that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad says here the Quran did not call Hazrat Isa alayhi salam Hasur because he used to drink and he used to be with prostitutes. Even though in the same sentence, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad has explained his reasoning. He says, Quran में याह्या का नाम हसूर रखा मगर मसीह का ये नाम ना रखा क्योंकि ऐसे किस्से इसके नाम के रखने से माने हैं. Even today, Christians, they actually believe about Jesus that he did used to drink and that prostitute, or at least one prostitute did touch him or massage his feet, something like that. So these kinds of incidents, even today, people know them and people believe in them. So these cases, and he says that he doesn't say that Quran doesn't name him Hasur because he used to drink and he used to be with women.
Hello,
he says,
hello,
Ahmadi.
Hello, bhai. Oh, bhai. No need to go like a train. You are building your case on the false premise. There are stories which have prevented Allah in the Quran to name Isa as Husuran. Are you listening, Ahmadi? Wallahi, it's very painful what you are saying. Very painful. Let me say one more time. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is saying the last statement you read. He says that there are stories which have prevented Allah in the Quran to call Isa as Hasuran. Please tell us what are those stories which have prevented Allah. Everybody with a bit of honesty can think that if something is preventing Allah, it has to be real. So please, Ahmad, don't do these tactics.
I have an idea. Ahmadi, can fables drive Allah's decisions?
Look, Imtiaz,
Wait, Ahmadi, please try to save our time. We're being very kind with you. We've given more than enough time. Let's make a logical argument here and talk about it. Can a fable, can a false story, can false narrative drive Allah to make decisions?
No.
Brilliant. In this case, that seems to have happened. That there was a fable, there was a lie about Jesus that he used to drink and he used to have contact with prostitutes. That story, that lie, as you claim, we're claiming that Mirza actually believed this. You're claiming that these are stories, false stories in the Bible. You're claiming now that false stories drove Allah to make a decision. Which you said no, that cannot happen. And if it cannot happen, then the story is true according to Mirza. And if the story is true, Mirza is still a kafir for believing that Jesus was a drunkard and he had contact with prostitutes. You, as Imtiaz Bhai rightly put it, you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. You die either way, spiritually speaking. Okay, so the only solution for people like you is to be sincere with Allah, be sincere with Allah's messengers and the Quran and the consensus of the Ummah of Islam for the last 1,400 years, and accept Islam and abandon this false cult. Because this alone is enough to abandon Mirza. This, if false prophecies did not exist, if Mirza's lies and false attributions to the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Mirza's shenanigans, otherwise, if they did not exist, this quote alone, this paragraph alone, is enough to indict Mirza as a disbeliever. So that's it. Game over.
Okay,
Game
so-
over. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to respond to what you said. So,
Yes,
Ahmadi
please.
As I said, Ahmadi Muslims, we do not believe in these two things, right? And people can judge for themselves by reading the books of Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Look, these are two fables, right? That him drinking and him with Fahisha Aurat, these are fables. I agree with you that these are fables. But the reality is that even in today's world, there are billions of people who don't believe that these are fables. They actually think that this man who's mentioned in the Bible did used to drink and did have this whatever is mentioned with the woman, right? So what Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad has said is that because these incidents were famous, this is why this title has not been used.
So
He does
Allah,
not- one second,
so
one
Allah,
second,
so
one
wait.
second,
So
let me
what you
finish,
say?
let me
No, let me
finish.
conclude.
Let
What
me
you're
just
saying is
finish.
that Allah abandoned Isa alayhi salam to these fables. Allah did not defend
No,
him.
no. Allah has
Rather,
we know about the prophets. It is
no,
mentioned
but
in the
Allah
Quran
deprived
that
him. Wait,
they do not commit sins.
Ahmadi,
Same thing
wait.
about Prophet Jesus.
Ahmadi.
No
Ahmadi, you're
no
wasting
Muslim
time.
believes
You're
that
wasting
Hazrat Isa
time.
alayhi
Ahmad, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ, I'm saying this. What Ahmadi is now claiming that these are fables, these are lies, but because of these lies, Allah deliberately, specifically deprived Isa alayhi salam of a great honor, which is to call him Hasur.
Allah
This is
has
what
called Rasul many people. That doesn't mean that he's
No,
implicating them.
no,
He's
but
saying,
Ahmadi,
no,
"Here,
brother, you're
making
missing the
a
point.
false
Mirza is making this
conclusion."
point that Allah did not call
No,
him
you
Hasur
are
because
making
of
a false
these.
conclusion.
No, brother, look, what there are
Bhai,
two options here.
let me
There,
say one thing. Bhai,
yeah,
let me say one. Okay,
yeah.
Ahmadi, listen. Okay, because Ahmadi, look, there are other people in the backstage, so inshallah we'll conclude this one. Now, Ahmadi, listen this point very carefully. One simple question, and if you want to answer, go ahead. If you don't want to, you are more than welcome to leave. Now, according to this passage, what is the reason Allah did not call Isa as Hasuran? Let me repeat the question. According to this passage, what is the reason Mirza Ghulam Qadiani has given us that this is the reason that Allah did not call Isa as Hasuran? Can I please request you to answer this question?
The reason is that millions and millions and millions of people believe about Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. They consider this to be the truth.
Wrong. Sorry, wasting time. Sorry. You're
If you
wasting
don't
time.
want to
No,
if you don't want
there
to
are no
answer
millions.
that,
Wait. There are no millions of people mentioned in this quote. Imtiaz Bhai's question was very specific. What is the reason Mirza gives? Mirza in this passage, what is the reason Mirza gives that Allah did not name Jesus
that's the
Hasur
reason
in the
that he gives. That's the reason that he gives. He says,
Wait,
"Kyunki aise kisse is naam ke rakhne se mane the."
okay.
He
Does
does
he
not say that-
wait? Does he
One
deny
second.
these kisse?
Let me-
Does he say this?
Yes, of
Wait.
course. That's a given. Look,
Ahmadi, no
look, he does not say.
No,
Ahmadi,
that's
please
not a
wait.
given.
Let me
That's not a
make
given.
one point. Let me make one point. He does not say
Ahmadi, my one request. You are twisting our question and then trying to give the impression as though as your answer. Our question is, what stopped Allah? Are you listening? What stopped Allah from naming Isa as Husuran according to this passage? Habibi, I'm saying three things. Number one, what stopped Allah? Number one. Number two, by naming Isa as the Husuran. Number three, according to this passage. Can you please answer?
yes. Please just give me 30 seconds to answer. Okay.
Okay, I
If-
give you exactly 30 seconds. Okay,
Okay.
go
If
on.
Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salam believed that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam used to drink and used to be with women, he would say, कुरान में याहिया का नाम हसूर रखा मगर मसीह का ये नाम ना रखा क्योंकि वो ऐसे करते थे. लेकिन उन्होंने क्या कहा? उन्होंने कहा क्योंकि ऐसे किस्से इस नाम के रखने से माने थे. He said because there were such tales about him. Look, there are many prophets in the Quran. Allah Ta'ala does not call all prophets Hasur. Does not mean that we believe
That's it. We are not asking you to go on the next speech. So you said your answer is that there were false stories. Are you listening? You are saying right now, and people are watching and listening. Don't disrespect their intelligence. You are saying that wrong stories about Isa alayhi salam stopped Allah. Wrong stories, fable, fictitious stories about Isa alayhi salam stopped who? Stopped Allah. The one who knows the who's Alibul Ghaib, the one who knows the unseen as well. You are saying that the wrong stories, the false stories about Isa alayhi salam regarding alcohol and prostitutes stopped Allah from naming Isa as Hasuran. What an irony. What an irony. And you are giving the impression that you have answered. Please, brother, please
I'm not.
don't go to this level.
I'm not giving any impression. Look, people can judge for themselves. What
Answer the question now. I appreciate you answered one question.
He has already conceded that false stories cannot drive Allah to make decisions. He has already conceded. He cannot go back on that. So we have that. Now that we have that, here there are two options for him. Either Mirza believed this, which he doesn't agree with. Ahmadi is saying Mirza did not believe in this. The second option is that Allah was driven by fables to make decisions, right? Which goes against his earlier position. So now you're stuck. Ahmadi, you're actually stuck. Either you concede that Mirza believed in this, which is true, which is what the case is, because he did. We presented the other quote from Mirza as well, where he said that according to me, main manta hu. Mirza saying main manta hu, having said those things, right? So Mirza actually believed in this. That is the truth, which you're categorically denying in front of all these thousands of people who are watching. Number one. Number two, in this quote, if you don't concede that Mirza had this belief, the second point is even worse, that you have already said that cannot be true, that Allah was driven by a lie to make decisions, to deprive a noble prophet of Allah, because that's the point. Don't tell us that other prophets were not called Hasuran. That's not what we're discussing. We're discussing that Mirza gives a reason. Mirza gives a reason that Allah did not call him Hasur in the Quran because of these fables, according to you. But these are not fables according to Mirza. According to Mirza, this is the truth. That's why Mirza is saying,
he calls them fables. He calls in that
He does,
quote,
brother.
he said, look,
Qissa is not a fable according to the Quran. Allah
when you
calls
say
the story.
qisse
Wait,
mashhur,
brother, stop it. Allah calls the story of Yusuf alayhi salam Ahsanul Qasas. So
you're
Qissa.
comparing Urdu
Wait,
with Arabic.
brother,
You know
brother,
very
no,
well when
brother,
you say
qissa
logo
means-
mein qisse mashhur the, that means
Brother,
it was false.
no, brother, stop playing these games.
No, you were
You
comparing the Quran in Arabic
Ahmadi,
with Urdu, and then
Ahmadi, you're wasting our time. We're saying either Mirza believed this, which is the case, because your defense of Mirza is not working. Qissa doesn't mean a fable necessarily. Qissa means a story. The meaning of Qissa, literally in the Urdu language, which is my mother language, and I'm an occasional poet as well. I know the language well enough to know what Qissa means. Qissa means story. A story can be history, it can be true, and it can be false. You're claiming that these are false stories, and you have already conceded that a false story cannot drive Allah to make decisions. But in this case, you're stuck. You know why? Because if that's the case, Allah did make a decision due to a false story, according to your defense of Mirza. But if we take the other side of the coin, which is that Mirza had this belief, and he did believe in this qissa, and that's why he's saying that Yahya was called Hasur and Isa was not, because of these true stories. That's what Mirza is saying. And we believe in this theory because we have other quotes from Mirza where he's saying, मेरे नजदीक मसीह शराब से परहेज करने वाला नहीं था, जबकि मसीह शराब से. What more do you need in the Urdu language? It's so categorical. So you're stuck. You're between a rock and a hard place. So either Allah made decisions according to Mirza due to false stories, or Mirza believed it. Which one is it? Two options. You choose one, or give me a third option. And don't waste our time. Don't go on. Go on. It's your time.
I don't want to waste any time. I think the only thing that I would say is that, I think I have already made the arguments, whatever I could make as an Ahmadi.
No, you haven't. You failed.
According to you, I haven't. That's fine.
Okay, what's your argument? What's your argument?
My argument is that, just as a concluding statement on this, is that I think Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, when he talks about these two things, he's specifically referencing the biblical Jesus, and for people to judge. Look, on one second.
You're lying again, Ahmadi. Don't do that.
Let him complete.
On alislam.org, right, where his books are there about Christianity in English language. Look, people can read them. For example, The Fountain of Christianity or other books. They can judge for themselves when he talks about these things, because these things, like the references that you have shown, they are mentioned repeatedly in his book. And I'm sure if you read the books, you will come across this reference. You can judge when reading in context that whether he truly believed that the Prophet Hazrat
Okay, Ahmadi, wait. You are just going on and on. Okay, you gave your answer.
You're preaching now. You're preaching.
Yeah,
yes, you're preaching.
Now, Ahmadi, look at this one. Ahmadi, now, in your presence, we are going to make our concluding remarks about the passage we discussed. Now, we both agreed that there is something which is stopping Allah, according to Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, to call Isa as Hasuran. You said that these were the stories in circulation about Jesus of alcohol and prostitute connection. These stories were the one which stopped Allah from calling Isa as the Hasuran. Now, very big problem was, as Adnan Bhai was repeatedly saying, and every intelligent Ahmadi has understood this, that if stories were false, they cannot drive Allah's decision. But in this case, Allah did make a decision, according to Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, to not call Isa as Hasuran on the basis of these stories, which are you saying they are false stories. So there's a big problem you have caught into, but you are not, maybe at this time, I can see that, maybe at this time you are not willing to see the problem. Because if stories are true, our point is proven. If stories are false, then they cannot change then they cannot drive Allah's decision. There's no third option. And lastly, this is another reference just to to sign the deal. Okay, यूरोप के लोगों को जिस कदर शराब ने नुकसान पहुंचाया है, इसका सबब तो ये था कि ईसा अलैहिस्सलाम शराब पिया करते थे. Now पिया करते थे, everyone who knows Urdu, पिया करते थे. It's called माजी इस्तेमरारी, that something is happening continuously in the past. Mirza says the reason why alcohol has harmed European societies, because Isa alayhi salam used to drink alcohol, habitual, used to drink alcohol. And then he says because of an illness or because of an old habit. Again, he says
नहीं इम्तियाज भाई, you missed out something very powerful, very important. पिया शराब पिया करते थे शायद किसी बीमारी की वजह से. The word shayad is Mirza's own interpretation and explanation of the phenomenon, because shayad is not based upon a narrative from the past, neither biblical nor Quranic, because shayad means perhaps due to an illness or an old habit. So shayad is Mirza's own interpretation of the phenomenon. And what is the phenomenon? That Isa alayhi salam sharab piya karte the. If Mirza did not believe in this, he would have said, ye jhoot hai, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है, मिर्जा ईसा अलैहि सलाम शराब नहीं पिया करते थे. What he's saying, he
has
used to,
said this in
no,
other
no,
statements.
wait. What he's saying, that he used to drink perhaps because of an illness or an old habit. मगर ऐ मुसलमानों, तुम्हारे नबी अलैहिस्सलाम तो हर एक नशा से पाक और मासूम थे, जैसा कि वो फिल हकीकत मासूम है. And O Muslims, your prophet was free of all these intoxications and he was innocent. Okay, and in reality he was innocent. So here Mirza is categorically endorsing the view that Isa alayhi salam was a drunkard, शराब पिया करते थे, habitual drinker.
And
Ahmadi, if you have an atom's weight of honesty and integrity and sincerity, you would concede. You would say, you know what, guys, I'll put my hands up. You have grounds there. You have reasons to claim what you're claiming. You're not just making this up. You're not just playing games. You're not just twisting things. There is stuff there that definitely indicates that Mirza had this belief.
Yeah. And Adnan Bhai, Ahmadi, just 1 second. Last thing. Adnan Bhai, look at this one. And if anybody still says that they have doubt if it was Ilzami Jawab or biblical Jesus, inshallah, let me clarify that. Mirza says, हजरत मसीह के इस इकरार से कि मुझे नेक मत कहो बवजह उला गुनाहगार होना साबित होता है. And in the context he mentioned the same sharab thing. He says that this confession, listen everybody, he says that by the confession of Messiah Isa ibn Maryam, when he said do not call me righteous, he says that above and beyond other things, it proves that he was a sinner. And then next thing is very important. बल्कि मसीह की अमली हालतें इन ईमानों पे रोशनी डालकर everybody listen हक्कुल यकीन तक पहुंचाती हैं. Mirza says and the actions of Christ shed light on the same meanings and takes the matter to haqqul yaqeen, last degree of belief. Mirza says that this matter that Isa was drinking alcohol, it has reached to the level of haqqul yaqeen. My dear Ahmadi, who is right now with us, and anybody who's watching or will watch in the future, if something is fake, if something is just a fable, fictitious, can it allow something to reach haqqul yaqeen? And then Mirza says, अव्वल तो मसीह ने यूहन्ना के हाथ पे तौबा का इस्तबाग लिया. He says, first of all, Messiah repented and took baptism at the hand of John, जिसमें, listen very carefully, जिसमें एतराफ़े गुनाह है. And in this baptism and in this repentance, there's a confession of sin. And next thing is extremely important. बस इस्तेबाग क्या लिया, गोया गुनाहगार होने पे मोहर लगा दी. He says that it's not that Jesus took baptism at the hand of Yahya. No, he said this baptism has sealed it has sealed and stamped the matter that Isa alayhi salam was a sinner, was a sinner. And let me repeat, in the context, the discussion is about drinking alcohol. Ji Adnan bhai.
So there you go. That's it. We have it. So we have not one thing. We have multiple quotes and reasons from Mirza's own writings where he is claiming that Isa alayhi salam was a sinner, a habitual sinner, and this reached Hakul Yaqeen. Hakul Yaqeen, by the way, means absolute truth. It means absolute truth without any shadow of doubt that the matter reached the level of absolute certainty that Isa alayhi salam was a sinner. And again, because he was a drunkard and he had contacts with prostitutes. We have shown the evidence in black and white. We have translated it. We have given the references. Those who are sincere, those who want to save themselves from Jahannam, they will do their own research. And those who want to go to Jahannam deliberately, the doors to Jahannam are an option for them. They want to go, they choose to go to Jahannam, by all means do so. But Mirza was definitely not a prophet of God. He was definitely a liar, and he made all these things up, and he just made a new religion. And now, unfortunately, hundreds of thousands of people will burn in hellfire because of him. That's it. There's
Okay,
nothing
now
else.
we have finished with the discussion, Ahmadi. There's because whatever you wanted to say, you said. Whatever as you said already, that people will judge. And the main thing is, because I made a promise that I will show you the reference before you leave. So inshallah, I will end with that reference because I don't want you
I
or
still have my
anybody
last
think.
question to me.
No.
No?
Okay, let me just share that reference before you leave, and then inshallah we will take somebody else. Give me just 1 second because we want to show that reference about Peter. Okay, volume number 3 of Ruhani Khazain, page 106. Petrus यानी पीटर, जिस आखिरी कलमा के साथ मसीह से अलविदा हुआ था, इसने मसीह के रूबरू मसीह पे लानत भेजकर और कसम खाकर कहा कि मैं इस शख्स को नहीं जानता। ऐसी ही और भी बहुत सी पेशनगोइयां हैं जो सही नहीं निकली। एंड देन मिर्जा सेज, मगर ये बात इल्जाम के लायक नहीं है क्योंकि अमूरे अखबारिया कशफिया में इज्तिहादी गलती अंबिया से हो जाती है। नाउ मिर्जा गुलाम कादियानी इज डूइंग टू थिंग्स, ही इज एक्नॉलेजिंग दिस इवेंट and then he is giving the reason that it was ijtihadi ghalti that
This event is mentioned in the Bible.
No, wait. Oh, sorry.
I'm saying this event is
Okay, Peter. It says that Peter's last word before he departed with Christ was that he cursed the Christ at his face and swore at him that I do not know this man. Likewise, there are many prophecies which did not come true. But this matter is not worthy of blaming Isa. Why? Because even prophets may make interpretational mistake. Now, Mirza, it's very unfortunate, Ahmadi. I don't know. Wallahi, my heart is just bleeding. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is telling that all the prophets, they make ijtihadi error. And because Isa alayhi salam made ijtihadi errors with regard to his prophecies, and that is what's causing the problem. And then he says, but don't blame Isa alayhi salam because it happens to all the prophets. One more ref. Hazrat Isa ने अपनी ijtihadi गलती से अपने तई बादशाह बनना यकीन कर लिया और कपड़े बेच के हथियार भी खरीद लिए। यहूदा को बेश्त का एक तख्त भी दिया गया। फिर इसी जमाना में अब आप आसमान से वापस आने का पुख्ता वादा भी किया। आखिर में वो सब पेशनगोइयां गलत निकली। एंड देन मिर्जा गिव्स द रीजन पस when somebody says पस, now he is going to summarize the previous matter. He says जिस अमर में तमाम अंबिया शरीक हैं और एक भी उनसे बाहर नहीं है, इसको एतराज की सूरत में पेश करना किसी मुत्तकी का काम नहीं है। मिर्जा गुलाम कादियानी is saying that when these things happened to Isa alayhi salam, when he made all of these mistakes, when his prophecies, all of them did not prove to be right, he said, don't blame Isa alayhi salam. Why? Because it happens to all the prophets. This is Ruhani Khazain, volume 22, page 573. And we can go on and on and on. Now, just sweeping all of that under the carpet without using your intelligence and just keep saying one thing. It was biblical Jesus. Biblical Jesus. I am saying repeatedly, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani believes in all the narrative of the Bible and the gospel regarding Isa alayhi salam. He never said that these things are found about him, but they are not true. And I gave you the example of Isa being put on the cross. It was biblical Jesus. Every people who are watching, listen this point very carefully. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani believes, he believes that Isa was put on the cross. Where did he found this? Biblical Jesus. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani believes that John came in place of Elijah. Where did he get this? Biblical Jesus. What I'm trying to say is that biblical Jesus, the last point, the biblical Jesus and Prophet Isa alayhi salam are one and the same individual, same person, according to Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. And the proof is he's using those biblical Jesus narratives to prove his point. Okay. Now, you want to stay in denial, by all means. Okay, if you think that this was not sufficient evidence, no problem, we would not mind. Okay, stay with your belief. You have every right to believe whatever you want to, but don't try to give the impression, oh, I have answered everything. I have gave that. You have did not answer anything.